EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. To get this one started, and we are underway in Southern California. And it's a pretty good return here as they'll get this up to the 29. Here are the Chargers ready to go on offense, led by their first-round pick in 2020, the man out of Oregon, Justin Herbert.
And it certainly hadn't taken Herbert long to earn his status as one of the league's best and most entertaining passers. Locked and loaded at every snap, and the second he sees an opening, that ball is soaring downfield. You better be on your toes against him on defense. The second you turn your head, he'll burn you.
Herbert on the first play wants to pass it. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that's caught inside the 30. A huge play there right off the bat. 43 yards.
I've heard of quick strike offenses, but this is taking that to the extreme. I mean, the very first snap of the ball game, normally you're thinking, let's get our quarterback comfortable and get him into the flow of the game.
Hi everyone, and welcome to my live stream of Madden NFL 25.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory as they've got it to the 28-yard line. Here's Herbert. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Out of the gun, Herbert. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, LA. Hayden Hurst, 28 yards. And the Chargers need just 3 plays to go down and take the early lead. 3 plays already in the end zone. That was quick.
We always talk about offenses understanding what they want to do before they go into a game.
And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
After review of the play, ruling on the field is reversed.
So take away the touchdown there, as that's going to be ruled an incomplete pass. So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Again, Herbert. That ball nearly intercepted, but he could not hang on. Oh, pick there certainly would have been nice. Instead, at least it'll be 4th down.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
And this is going to miss left. I don't think it even got there either. It's no good either way, and this will remain a scoreless game. So a bit of a weird kick there. That wasn't an overly long attempt, but that never had a chance.
You almost wonder if he might have maybe got that one on the laces because it kind of knuckled on him a bit. And this one winds up in empty possession.
A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. That was first throw of the game, going to be intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. Loose inside the 30. Inside the 10. And he brings this one back.
TD, baby.
Charger TD.
Go Chargers.
6 on the first play of the drive.
Got a pick.
Game, making it 6-0.
And while it's only 6 points in the first quarter, it certainly takes a lot of pressure off of them, doesn't it? They're in the lead. They have control. Now they just want to settle in and play their game and defend that advantage.
For the extra point, Cameron Dicker. And the Chargers grab the 7-0 lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
A first carry for Amir Abdullah. And not much doing there. Maybe a yard up to the 23.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
3rd and 12. Now Minshew. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down.
Sack, baby. Welcome in, Ninja Watchers. Don't count on me streaming Fortnite on this channel anytime soon. Just saying.
And not deliver downfield and take that sack. They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
So on 4th down, here's A.J. Cole to punt for the Raiders. Back deep for L.A. is Darius Davis. Fielded at the 43. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Chargers will be set up pretty well as they take over in great field position. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Back to throw here, Herbert. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10. On the run, this is J.K. Dobbins. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. Here's Herbert. He's got his target. That's complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A gain of 22.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up for the 1st and 10.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. They'll run up the gut with Dobbins. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, a 12-yard touchdown run. And the Chargers go up by 2 touchdowns. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you get the defensive touchdown early to give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, we've had that conversation with them prior to the game, they always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off. And he returns this to the 22. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10. Minshew sets to throw. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And he brings this one back.
Another pick, another touchdown.
Charles, it is pretty rare that we see a team build this kind of lead in the opening quarter. And then they seem to be clicking on all three phases right there. The defense doing its part with a pick six.
And it's absolutely been the definition of a start that you would pick for yourself and for your team, right? And I have a feeling that they just want to stay in this zone. What's truly incredible about this start is they can add on a couple more scores. This one could legitimately be over in the second quarter.
Extra point try now from Dicker. It's good, and before you know it, it's 21-0. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. He's off to a pretty shaky start, to put it mildly. He's had 2 passes picked off and run back for touchdowns, and we're not even out of the first quarter yet. After the pick six, they go right back to the air. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. That's sacked by Khalil Mack. Now this first quarter, let's just be frank, it's been a disaster so far offensively.
Yeah, already down multiple scores, and it doesn't appear they can get out of their own way right now.
Here's Madison running left. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. He'll get a couple yards back, but not more than that. They'll be left with 12 yards to go on third down.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he... In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Denzel Perryman with a sack.
Well, someone is certainly having a big game, and while that sack doesn't quite have the splash of his pick six from earlier, thrilled to be making big plays during a great individual effort today.
Here's A.J. Cole now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Returnable here for Davis. It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And just shedding him off there. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Charger first.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
Herbert now. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
Justin Herbert looking to pass. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. There to break that one up, that was Jacorian Bennett.
That could have been a huge play, but give the defender credit. Stayed calm, stayed collected, and kept himself in a position to make a play on the ball without a penalty.
Cameron Dicker on now to try the field goal. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and the lead will hold at 3 touchdowns. Now listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state, at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down. They'll go Madison up the middle. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Here's Minshew. That's into the hands of his tight end Bowers. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first.
Well, these guys certainly need something good to go their way, because this first quarter has been something of a disaster for them trying to move the ball. But that completion there maybe can get them focused and moving in the right direction.
That's to Bowers once again. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that will bring up second down.
I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this. Back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent game. Now Minshew has it knocked out. Fumble. (21-0) our score after 1. The Raiders with the football here to begin quarter number 2, as they've got it with a third down coming up. Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Off play action, it's Minshew. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. But, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And they'll play keep away from the returner, as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. And they've got to be a little bit frustrated about that last drive, missed field goal.
Always hurts a team because, you know, you've put something out there, you've given yourself a chance, you're in range, and the ball doesn't go through the posts. But it's not something to panic about, I don't believe. Just keep playing and keep going.
He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
Second and 10. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest with a guy with that type of speed. You do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
And now he'll turn, and off his back foot, he'll heave this deep. And unable to connect, incomplete. Give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down. On fourth down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. That'll go down as just a 20-yard punt. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Back to the ground on first down. Here's Madison. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I keep going back to him.
And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Looking to throw it, Minshew. And that will be incomplete. The Charger D making things difficult, and it's 4th down.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
4th down, and on comes the Raider kicker, Daniel Carlson. This is a 26-yard attempt. Carlson able to put this one through, and the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So they do come up with their first points of the game, but Charles, the question is going to shift to their defense.
Yeah, the way things have gone, 3 points could become insignificant fast if this grows to 28-3 or 35-3. They need this defense to come up with a stop, and they need to do it now.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. And the LA offense ready for this next possession. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Herbert. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Thus far, they have been able to move the line of scrimmage very well in the running game. Almost felt like they said in the huddle, can you guys pass protect? Let's take a big shot downfield. Didn't get it on that one, but they may come back to it again.
And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up fourth down.
On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. It's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. Going to begin the drive here with Madison. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to float from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Here's Madison getting it again on 2nd. And this time he won't even make it back to the line of scrimmage as they stop him in his tracks. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
You talk about closing in a hurry as a safety and run support. Not only did he get a good run in, he gave him a pretty good pop too and finished off the play behind the line of scrimmage.
Now Minshew has it knocked out. Fumble. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball has squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
A nice punt, but a good run back as well, 13 yards. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. So out come the Chargers. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. Got an open man. It's Josh Palmer. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 22 yards there, 1st down.
Time to give some credit to the big fellows, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you've got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory, down at the 31. A give up the middle to Dobbins. And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15. 53 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Now it's Herbert. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
Now a handoff for Dobbins. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down. If this defense wants to stay in this ball game, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do, and right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage, you have to get up.
And this will be caught in the end zone for a Chargers touchdown. Josh Palmer, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Chargers are able to widen their lead here in this first half. They went empty backfield, all their weapons out wide, so there really was no secret here to what they were going to do.
No secret, but they still had to execute it, and they still had to protect the guy throwing the ball, because oftentimes when you empty the backfield, people bring pressure at you. They managed to hold in there and successfully complete the touchdown pass.
Now, after the Dicker field goal, he's back out, ready to send it away. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Joey Bosa, that is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down. Here's A.J. Cole now to punt this one away. Davis now to return it. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. Getting through the break at record pace and right back to football. 3rd quarter, here we go.
Cameron Dicker to kick off for the Chargers.
Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Raiders offense and Gardner Minshew getting set to go to work once more. And it's been a struggle for him all afternoon. This defense has really done a nice job of making it. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. Second half starts with a run by Abdullah. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. More from L.A. in a moment. Now a 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 31. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll try to get it on the ground with Madison. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
Here's A.J. Cole now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Pulled in at the 24. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Herbert. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
From the gun, Herbert on 3rd down. That is caught. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. That one will go down as 33 yards on the 3rd down conversion.
Everything's been going right here in this one. This offense, they've been in complete control from the outset. And here's another big play. These kind of routes have been open all game long, and they continue to take advantage.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. A shotgun snap and a give to Dobbins. Oh, and fine work there as he gets this thing down to the 11-yard line. 67 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. Defensively, they were in the 3-4, and that O-line just dominated the D-line there.
Let's go with a verbal telestrator here because that D-line has a nose over the center, and it has the 2 defensive ends over the offensive tackles. That means the guards don't have anyone over the top of them. That creates a natural bubble inside where they sprint upfield, take on the inside linebackers. If the back hits it fast enough, there should be space to run.
2nd and 1 from the 2. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Chargers are pouring it on. Boy, another score. This lead gets even bigger. And, Charles, we haven't even hit the 4th quarter yet.
Well, forget the deficit, right? They're really not going to cut into that a heck of a lot. But how can they get out of here with some dignity? Can they get a stop or two? Can they make a play on offense themselves? Anything to start to feel better about what's happened to them here in this one.
So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Las Vegas' offense back out there ready to go. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
7 yards there and a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Here's Madison running on first down. Taken down at the 42.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Looking to throw on second down. Minshew. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Oh, Tito Agbenaya getting in there to drop it.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
They made that way too easy for them. No one is supposed to be that open against an NFL defense. Once he caught the ball, There wasn't anybody close enough to stop him, and he was able to continue downfield after making the catch.
And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
Every team we ever talk to that continues to run the ball in a game, even when they haven't had much success, all talks about attrition, don't they? If you keep running it, eventually good things are likely to happen. It's been a hard go in this game today, hasn't it?
Yeah, this defense, they met pretty much every check. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Gardner Minshew taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Raiders are able to cut into that deficit. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will cut this lead down to 25. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it was Gardner Minshew who finished things off himself with a touchdown run. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. J.K. Dobbins leading the way as the offense returns to the field. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that second score here in the third quarter.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
Play action. It's Herbert. It's wheeled in downfield by Johnston. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Here's a give to Dobbins. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, second down.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
From the 38 now, here comes 2nd and 8. Herbert off of play action. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
As a coaching staff, you can call just about whatever you want because you understand you have guys who reliably take away those massive shots downfield. You're not as worried about giving up the big one.
From the shotgun, here's Herbert. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Josh Palmer, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Chargers will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. Well, on the other sideline right now, it's just absolute dejection. But, Charles, let's focus on the positive. With the lead that they built here, they've done pretty much everything to perfection in this ball game.
They certainly have. Makes me think that their week of preparation was excellent. And they flowed into this game, and it carried over. And right now, I don't expect them to back off at all. They're playing so well, they just want to keep it going.
Now, after the Dicker field goal, he's back out, ready to send it away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Now the Vegas offense heading back out there. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but, Charles, they look up, and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all
over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. Back now at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. That's to Marshall on a quick slant. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
And the Las Vegas first down.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And Minshew with nowhere to go, and they take him to the ground. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sand.
Pardon my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front 7 today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Minshew. And that's good for a gain of 6. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Minshew going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Derwin James with a pick. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
The Chargers offense and Justin Herbert getting set for this next drive. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. 83 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Here's Herbert. Short throw to Disley, and he is going to have the Chargers first down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4. They'll bring a tight end in motion left. On the counter now, it's Dobbins. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 18 big yards on that one, and a Charger first. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Right back to Dobbins on 1st. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. J.K. Dobbins with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Chargers add 6 more to their point total, and they're on cruise control right now here in the 4th. Dicker down to tack on the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it's finished off by a touchdown run from J.K. Dobbins. Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow. Talk about two sides of the ball at cross purposes, because mercifully this game's almost over for the offense, but the defense, they still want to get a few shots in. Their front seven, they've loved this ball game. They've been able to pad their stats, and maybe some backups can get in and get a sack as well.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just talking about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
And Minshew with nowhere to go, and they take him to the ground. Khalil Mack able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
Nightmare of a game continues for this quarterback, brought down with the game already decided. This sack adds insult to injury for him. Multiple turnovers, down by multiple touchdowns, now dumped early in a drive in the final quarter.
And taken at the 46. It'll be a 40-yard punt, 8 on the return. And the Chargers will be set up pretty well as they take over in great field position. The Chargers offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on the ground to this point in the fourth quarter. Now a carry for Dobbins. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
Here's 2nd and 7. Another run here with Dobbins. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 124 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run up the gut with Dobbins. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
2 yards to go, second down. Dobbins running out of the gun. Fighting through it. He's got space. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back through the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we haven't been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. CD, it's all window dressing.
Well, we're just wiping them out. Everyone, thanks for watching. After the game, I'm going to play a little Fortnite, but I won't be streaming it.
Lopside this game has been. Even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And Minshew with nowhere to go, and they take him to the ground. Joey Bosa, who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
And you could say that is just another cherry on top for this defense and that entire team. But really, this defense has sparked what's been an impressive effort here in this one.
And I notice you used the word sparked, because you're not seeing that on the other side of the ball, are you? The offense right now, the spark has left their game, and it's been because of what you described, that defensive pressure.
All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down. From the gun, Minshew to throw. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down.
Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
Well, it's an old chestnut, but let's face it, offensively, they've got to have some pride here, because this has been a worst-case scenario all game for them. Keep putting in the effort, keep trying to keep your quarterback upright, and get through the end of this one as quickly as possible.
It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45. And out will come the offense as they take over.
J.K. Dobbins leading the way as the offense returns to the field.
So he'll be looking to get in the end zone again. Had the touchdown, as you see, last drive on 4 carries. And during the break, we were looking at some of the replays from the previous drive. Really good holes created, great space.
Yeah, I like the observation you had, though, during that break about, okay, they've got to do something to slow down their runners. So is it bringing in more defensive linemen? Is it dropping in extra linebackers? What are you going to do? Personally, I'm going to take my safety and drop him into the box. I'm going to have at least 7 in there until he shows that he can beat me through the air. Yeah. I've got to slow down the running game.
I was just going to say, you'll take the exposure in the passing game over the top until you can prove that you can stop the running game.
Sometimes you go cold because you haven't thrown it in a while. Let's see if he can heat up again.
Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant show.
Wow, what a wipeout we made. Everybody, thanks for watching, and it's time to check the item shop and play a few games.
And you noticed they did not want to slow